Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video, we're going to talk about the most important thing ever invented. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I think most people nowadays own a dishwasher, but I think we got to give credit to Josephine Cochran back in 1886 when she invented this thing. It took her a couple years. I mean, I don't think I can live with it. I don't know about you guys, but with a family of 5, this thing runs literally every day. And I think most of us probably clean the outside of it pretty good, but do any of us clean the inside and maintain this thing? So I'm going to give you a quick rundown on what you can do on the inside here to clean it off. Obviously, most of you know the soap tray is right here. You can either use liquid soap or I use the tabs. You can put the tabs in there and close it. If you don't know, this is considered a rinse aid. If you twist this cap and pull it off, there's a liquid you can buy like Jet Dry, and that's what helps the dishes dry inside of here and keep them nice and crystal clear. So if you want that, you got to make sure you fill this once in a while because it does run out pretty quickly. Alright, so then you got your racks, obviously, with some dishes. And then in here is where the bulk of it is. So this is your burner that keeps the water warm. This is 2 of your things that spray all the water. Okay. Now the problem with maintaining it is if you look in here, I don't know if you can see, I'll see if I can get you in a little closer. There's a bunch of gunk right in here. Alright, and that's what happens all along the bottom edge of this. It builds up. Okay, so once in a while what I like to do is I'll mix up a spray bottle of white vinegar and water, and what I'll do is I'll just spray it in here, right, all along these parts here. You can use bleach and water too. I just prefer to use this because it's kind of food safe for the most part. And then what I have is you know your options. You can use a washcloth. I have I think everybody has an old toothbrush, don't they? I mean, I keep all my old toothbrushes for this reason. But you just get in here, and what you want to do is just get in here and clean this out once in a while, because I mean you can see all the stuff that's in there, and this is where it all builds up in this corner down here, you know, in these corners. So if once in a while you clean this off, get all the way through underneath here where it all builds up. Yeah, it's really dirty under there. So that way, what happens is if you leave it sitting there, this rubber ends up wearing out, and then what happens, you'll end up getting leaks through these corners when it's running. And you'll see it on the floor. So that's number one. Number two, right here is what's considered your filter basket. So if you twist this, you can actually pull this out, and what you'll get buildup in here. You see how there's all kinds of crud in here? There's a piece of corn. So once in a while you'll want to get in here and you'll just want to take this up in the sink and clean it out. And it's not that hard. They're all the same. They all just go in here. They'll sit in here, you push down, you twist it and lock it back in place, okay? So those 2 things for maintenance. The rest of the stuff kind of handles itself. I mean, if you want to get in here and clean once in a while, you can get they make cleaning stuff that you can throw in here once in a while, just like a washing machine, if you want to clean it out. For the most part, just keep these edges clean, you know, clean down the rubber, and you should be good to go for a while. I mean, they're pretty self-sustaining, you know, because they're only running hot water and a little bit of soap, so they work pretty good. As far as having to replace it, in case anybody's interested, it's really not that hard. I'll give you a quick rundown. On this one, it's anchored right here. Usually it'll be anchored with a couple screws either right underneath the countertop, or these ones are on the side because this plate had to be put in up here for the countertop because we have granite countertops. I don't know if you can see that. So this is for when you have granite countertops or any hard surface countertop. If you have laminate or, you know, a wood countertop, the brackets will be right here on the dishwasher, and it'll screw them right up into the countertop. So that's all that actually holds that in place. Okay, so once you get those unscrewed, just be careful because this thing will want to fall forward sometimes when it's not screwed in. Then it's going to be hard for me to show you, but underneath here there's a panel, and it'll usually be either a Phillips head or a flathead, and it'll just be 2 screws. So when you get the panel off, it looks like so. It's going to slide up in there like that with this little flange, and then there's usually 2 screws right here in the front to hold it in place. So then underneath here, it's all insulated underneath here, but what you're going to find underneath here is that's where the electrical box is. It'll usually have 2 Phillips head screws or 1 Phillips head screw that you'll have to uncover, and in there is just wire nuts. So you're going to go down in your breaker box. You're going to see there should be one marked dishwasher. It'll usually be dedicated just to the dishwasher or some other 2 appliances in the kitchen. You're going to shut that one off. You can come in here, you can unwire the wire nuts just like you've seen in my electrical videos, and then pull the wire off. And then underneath here is a water line nut that literally is just it's like one of the nuts on the Keurig machine when you saw those ones. So you'll just need a little wrench. It'll be a little tricky to get to. You're just going to get under there. You're going to usually right in here, I'll show you behind the sink, there's a shut off. So you can shut that off, then you're going to get in here and you're just going to loosen that nut. And then once that's loosened, you can pull the water line off. And then once the water line and electrical are disconnected, you can slide this thing out. Okay, I'll show you one more thing in here. There's going to be a drain hose. Most people have these, will be hooked up next to their sink for that reason, because you have to hook up a drain hose and you have to hook up the water line. So usually they tap them right off your sink, you know, where everything comes up to your sink. So if you're ever designing a kitchen where you don't have a dishwasher and you want to add one, you're going to have to put it usually at least close to the sink on one side or the other within like one cabinet. So under the sink, I'll try to show you real quick. There's a hose line that comes in from right through the wall here. So you'll have a hole next to your cabinet here. Right here, you'll just use a Phillips or a flathead screwdriver. It connects right to this drain. So you're just going to loosen this clamp and then the hose will pull off. Just be careful, there's going to be water in this hose. And you're going to have to feed it back out when you pull the dishwasher out. So just know that you might want to dump this out into a bucket before you do that. Then down behind here is where the water shutoff is. It's just like these shutoffs on the sink. It'll be right here, and then there's a braided line that runs out the same hole. Okay, so that's what you're going to disconnect, and you're going to feed those back out as you pull the dishwasher. Same when you put it back in. So that's it, guys. With a few basic tools, screwdrivers, wrench, obviously your dirty toothbrush that you saved, because everybody saves them. That's all you need. Just go through once in a while, like I said, clean around these rubber seals, get all underneath this door is where it all builds up, and this little part underneath the door. Just clean that out. These seals will last so much longer, you won't have to worry about it, and everything else will get washed down in there. Like I said, just twist that filter out, clean that out once in a while. Make sure you put some jet dry in here, because that'll definitely help keep the dishes from getting water spots and everything on them. That's another neat little tip. And don't forget to clean up here. Mine's a little dirty right now. That's it. And if for some reason it dies and the place you buy it from doesn't offer free installation or something like that, just know that it's not that hard to do. You can do it yourself. All you gotta do is shut the breaker off downstairs. That'll cut the power. You know, if you have a tester, test it, make sure. But like I said, just go underneath here, take that one panel off. It'll just be 2 screws. Unscrew the water line with the crescent wrench. You'll see it when you see it. It'll be a braided line, or there'll be a little copper cord-rich line coming in there. Unscrew that. Make sure you shut it off under the sink, or sometimes they might be in the basement like the fridge is, you know, tapped out in the ceiling downstairs. So you have to look and see where it goes. If there's nothing in your sink that has a shut off for the dishwasher, then it's probably in your basement. So shut that off, take that water line off, cut the electrical. You just have to shut it off and then take the 2 wire nuts off, pull that apart. And then, like I said, slide this out after you take these screws off up here. Slide this out. As you're sliding it out, you're going to have to feed on, you know, that braided water line and the hose line, and then this will slide right out. Once it's out, you can take it and throw it out. And then you put the new one in. You're going to feed the water line in through that hole and the drain line and get it back under the sink here. And then as you move it back, you want to make sure you keep the electrical wire and the water line right underneath here, so that you're not losing it as you're pushing it back. It'll want to push itself back. So that's it. Not that hard. Like I said, it's probably take you half an hour if you're a novice. But a couple tools, that's all you need. And like I said, this is either bleach and water or vinegar and water, whichever one you prefer. Just spray it on there, scrub it a little bit, get all the crud out of there. But that's it. Just a basic one on the dishwasher. All right, great tool. One of the best tools in my house, I can tell you that much. You can use the spray too with the washing machine. It does the same thing if you have like the rubber and like a side load wash machine. Spray some of that in there, scrub it, you know, get the crud out of there. Sometimes it builds up in the bottom of that rubber seal. Alright, so that's it. Subscribe to the channel. I got more videos coming up, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like this video if it helped you out at all, okay? Thanks. Take care.